That's sportsman. Over the last 7 days, Michael Landsberg has the plays of the week.
Montreal's the only team with a bigger baby than Darryl Strawberry. First, the national anthem. Apparently, she's trying to audition for Maple Leaf Gardens. They think she might fit in well. Let's get into some new sports this week, like part barrel jumping, part rodeo riding. Ride that number 11. Here's a cerebral new sport. You jump out of a helicopter, then you ride barefoot and go over jumps. Cerebral because this guy must be landing on his head. Here's a sport that's a long time coming. Horses jumping off towers into the water with monkeys on their back. I thought he had an outstanding ride, didn't you? Sometimes it's not good to hit and stick. And sometimes you definitely do want to hit and stick, as Bob Charles found out. Now let's go to the NHL seriously and some outstanding goals. Here's your second runner-up for goal of the week, Tim Kerr, with one hand on the stick. That was nice. Brian Mullen says, impossible angle? Nothing's impossible. But here is your goal of the week, Pat LaFontaine. What a move that was. Outstanding. Now let's go to basketball, where this should not have been a basket. Clearly, it's an offensive foul. I mean, charging on the cameraman. He had position, right, didn't he? In Sacramento, Jerry Reynolds with a shot at the buzzer. It's up and good. So cool, never even turned around to watch it. How about Johnny McNeil, Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket? Sometimes a flat top isn't good. Look at his haircut. Watch on the replay. Goes in for the slam dunk, and he gets the perfect bounce off the flat top. Georgia Tech lost by 1, believe it or not. Oh, and we searched long and hard for the punch of the week. Here's one of the runner-ups. Here's a linesman getting hit twice. And can you imagine why linesmen want to get rid of fighting? Here is potentially one. Watch Jeff Parker of the Sabres says, I'll take you guys with one hand tied behind my back. And watch David Mealy on Dale Henry. Boom, boom, boom. What a shot. Here's your punch of the week by a man 7'5" or more. Minute Bowl on Kenny Norman. Get ready. And I don't know whether it's a boom. It's kind of a boom. But Norman was quoted afterwards as saying, that guy hits hard for a skinny guy. But here's your punch of the week. Watch the cheerleader in the middle of the picture. We're number one, we're number one, we're number one. And this guy says, wrong. And afterwards, we took our cameras there. We tried to get a quote. We said, what went wrong? What did he hit you? She said, we're number one, we're number one.
Oh, that's classic. Michael Landsberg does such a great job on those as well, I tell you.
Oh, I should tell you that Wayne Gretzky had a goal and an assist. L.A. beat Edmonton by a score of 6-3. We're number one!
I'm glad you said it. I couldn't get it out.
Bye-bye.
So long.
New York Giants, Carl Banks. Now, I want you to watch at the top of the screen. He meets the Jets' Mickey Schuler. He says, come on, man. I'm a good guy. Watch my hand. Oh, Carl, hey, throw that penalty flag. All right, offsetting penalties. We don't want to make any decisions here, right? I love it when the Giants and the Jets get together to win this one 4-1 to the dismay of Terry O'Reilly. Tell me if Terry O'Reilly, coach of the Bruins, is unhappy. The water bottle gets thrown at the referee. Now he's going to go for his stick. Come on, you guys, give me your stick. I'm ready to go. Terry O'Reilly, I think you'll be resting for the holidays, Coach. I told you we would make it worth your while for staying up late tonight. Next time we see you, of course, it's 1988, so here it is. The most unusual plays of the year of '87. Let's go around the world of sports. First of all, some folks got a little angry as to how we made the selection. Reggie didn't quite appreciate the fact that we decided we'd use him to open it up. Reggie, look, we didn't want to put the camera right on you, but as long as it was there, right, Reggie, and a happy Mama's Day to you, too. The foulest foul ball of the year to the Seattle cameraman. When you work for the sports machine, you take them hits and smile and flinch. Wave to the camera. Good, that's what I like, man. That's up guys in Seattle. Now, Mike Easler, are you really angry? The ump is saying you're angry. Mike says, you want to see anger? I'm going to show you now I'm angry. Ump says, you're out of here. He says, by the way, you can take my baseball bat, too. Angriest player, however, was Eddie Murray, who runs into the ump, John Shulot. He goes, hey, John, wants to throw the glove, wants to curse at him, wants to get angry. What are you going to say, Eddie? He says, you made me look bad. I'm going to be on the plays of the year, aren't I? Eddie, thank John Shulot for getting you on the plays of the year. Angriest manager, Lou Piniella, who was the most generous manager. He was willing to give you a helmet, or if you went down the first base line, he was willing to give you first base, whatever you want. Lou's got it. Best effort to get a baseball, the fan in Cleveland, who would do a swan dive into the basket. Not a bad dive. The best leap out of the stands would take place in the Bronx in Yankee Stadium. The guy never found the baseball. Pick up your $50 shades, man. By the way, it's going to, it will cost you $50 in court costs to try to get that $4.75 souvenir. The best leap into the stands was turned in by the White Sox, Darryl Boston. The best leap out of the park was turned in by Mitch Webster of the Expos. Up and over he goes. See you next year, Mitch. The best catches by a center fielder, certainly Kirby Puckett of the Twins. But tied for the best had to be Eric Davis of the Reds, who would rob anybody of a home run. The catch of the year, Ivan Calderon in Tiger Stadium, who saw the Japanese player do it. He says, I'm going to climb the wall, just like they do in Japan. The surprise meeting of the year, Mookie Wilson and Len Dykstra of the Mets in left field. The body block of the year, Willie Wilson on Ken Schwamm of the Cleveland Indians. They have fun, man. Snap, crackle, and pop award goes to Chili Davis. He'll snap the wrist, break the bat, crack, papple, and pop. Get on out of here. The Smoking Gun Award to Joe Necro. Joe, we caught you. Did you see that? Hey, what, me? Oh, where did that come? I was just filing my nails. Honest, umpire. Uh-oh, they caught you, Joe. You're going to be in for heavy penance. It just goes to show you that cheaters never proved. Isn't that what you say? Cheaters never prove? I don't know. All right, college basketball. The Reach Out and Touch Someone Award to Bobby Knight. Yes, make a phone call, Bobby. It was an expensive one, too. Does this man have high blood pressure? Gerald Myers of Texas Tech. Could he pass a stress test? Gerald, could we see the Texas two-step? I like it. Good deal. You're invited to Cheyenne Frontier Days, man. Anger will come back to get you. Check out Coach Judd Heathcote. Remember, don't get angry. He'll come back to bite you in the face, Judd. I told you, man. The longest college shot of the year. Watch this, folks. Ralph Newton of Huron College. It went the length of the court. Swish. I love it. You never heard of Huron College until tonight, right? Longest shot that didn't count. Stacey King of Oklahoma. Stacey, I would have counted this as a three-pointer in any game, man. The luckiest shot goes to Mark Bailey of Heath, Ohio. Look at his shot. When you used to play horse, you never made those shots playing horse. He won the game with the shot. Best underhanded shot of the year. Trevor Johnson of Bel Air, California. Look at this heat. The Globetrotters see if they're going to sign him up. Go get it, Trevor. John Thompson, what did you think of that shot? Did that do anything for you? Oh, my goodness, my guys don't make shots like that. The best shot of the year by Dr. J, it took place in Milwaukee, in the Mecca, one of the most photographic shots of all time. Get him, Julius. All right, the longest shot by the shortest player, 5'4", Tyrone Bogue, again in the Mecca, and he made it perfect. Second longest shot of the year goes to John Bagley. He planned this shot, he says. John lies occasionally. Nice shot, John. Longest shot of the year in the NBA. If you know one longer, tell me. This is Magic Johnson, one hand. Oh, that's a buzzer. You don't get him any better. The Mr. Innocent Award of the year to Bill Lambier of the Pistons, who got Larry Bird. He was just trying to block the shot. It was a routine play, just playing good defense, right? Ah, yes, but ladies and gentlemen, then would come the Get Even Award. Robert Parrish on Bill Lambier. 1, 2, there were no fouls called. Ref said, well, I think Lambier was still alive. There were no fouls called. It's my ball. You can't have an award. Jack Ramsey from Isaiah Thomas. No, it's my ball. I'm not going to. Look at Isaiah. Do you believe this stuff, man? Best way to meet the blonde in the black sweater. Brad Lohaus of the Celtics. Go meet that blonde. See that blonde? I always had an eye on Brad. The Bifocal Award to Jacques Demers of Detroit for all NHL referees. May you all see clearly now. The Woodchopper Award. Hey, Ron, you knew you were going to make it. Ron Hextall, the Flyers, on Kent Nilsson of Edmonton. How to Take a Punch Award. This was the best way to fall. Bob Froese. Meet Lindsey Never touched him, but he went down like he'd been hit by Mike Tyson. The best cartwheel by a hockey player. Lou Francis Getty. Go get him, Lou. The best flip by a cartwheel by a dog was by Sheena, my favorite terrier. Go get him, Sheena. From first place to fourth. Sorry about that. The biggest flip of the year. The Road Warriors. The Hawk who comes flying off of the top row. Is anybody better than the Road Warriors, man? You guys are on my side, Hawk. I like you. Most unusual pin. Karate Kid on Little Tokyo. Ref says, I told you to pin him. Now get back over there. One, two. The biggest guitar hit was by Honky Tonk Man on Randy Macho Man Savage. Play that guitar, baby. The Not All Football Plays Go As Planned Awards. To the Columbia... My favorite college play, Nevada Reno, quarterback Jim Chale, who lateraled to Lucius Floyd. We got to see the cheerleaders again. To Lucius Floyd, to Tom Logan. You know what? I want you to watch the defender. He goes in with the best spike of the year. Pick up that cone and spike it. Right, I like that's the best part of the play. The best play that's counted all year, Baltimore's Chris Smith, who pitches off to Paul Williams. Paul Williams is going the wrong way. He gives away 10 yards. He gives away 15, 20, 25. He gives away 30, 33. He throws the ball back to Chris Smith, who started the play. Watch the block coming at the top of your screen. Boom! Down goes that guy. Paul Smith covers 72 yards. It officially counted as a 41-yard touchdown. Did you like that play, Bruce? I knew that was my kind of play, baby. Give me some more. Already got a few more for you. The roughest treatment of a replacement player. Russell Griffith of the Seahawks, who got his head down in the helmet. I can't see him. Get my head out of the helmet. The roughest hit on a cameraman. It took place. But in sports machine tradition, he would get up and get the next shot. We go now for the golf shot of the year. Larry Mize, this has to be one of the greatest golf shots in the history of golf, anytime, anywhere, to win. The second hole of sudden death of the Masters, the shot to Larry Mize. The great golfer, terrible pitcher award. Greg Norman, who would put it in and then pitch right to Fred Couples' lap. Sorry about that. The double KO of the year, John Poe and Tom McIlvaine, who knocked each other out for a double KO. The best imitation of a bowling pin. Check out the guy on the right of your screen. He's Joe Mattingly. He was Joe Mattingly. There goes Joe. It's Joe. Say goodbye, Joe. The Delayed Reaction Award to Joe Walker. I'm hit. I'm hit. Whoa. By golly, you know what? I think I'm really hit. Now go get him, Joe. The flip of the year, folks. It went to Jim Kropfeld, who at 140 miles an hour and Miss Budweiser would walk right away from that thing without a scratch on his bod. The best jump of the year goes to Rob Smet of Medford, Oregon, who jumps Crocodile Dundee to the thrill of the crowd. The worst jump of the year, but I love it anyway. Worst jump of the year to Ed Begley. Go get him, Ed. Remember, the Sports Machine camera has always got its eyes on you. Oh, my. I'm George Michael. I'm out of breath. We're out of time. Have a great New Year.
In 1982, a stadium worker for the New England Patriots drove a tractor onto the field and cleared the snow for the Patriots' John Smith to kick a winning field goal. Could it be the Celtics hired him as a timekeeper? Boston trailed New Jersey late in the game. Now watch the clock. It stopped at 39, even though play continued. The best move of the week, Michael Adams on the dribble through the legs of Xavier McDaniel. The Emmerich Scott Metcalf must watch a lot of basketball. Look to the lower left. Metcalf grabbed the puck in the air and passed it behind his back and onto his stick. Nice move. And back at the Boston Garden, it's 39 and holding. These firemen have found a new sport. Hey, it isn't bad. Maybe it'll get a shot as a demonstration sport in the '92 Winter Olympics. And is it any wonder the Celtics almost never lose at home?
And finally, get some great and something less than great moments in sports in the last 7 days. We call this feature our Plays of the Week.
All right, here we go. Let's start with the national anthem. Do you like it done this way?
I said the home. I said the home, the home. Of the brave.
on that note, whatever note it is, the best karate chop of the week goes to John Bagley of New Jersey with his attack on Scott Skiles. As for karate kicks, no one has more impact than Patrick Ewing's big size 16. Chuck Daly says you should be slapped on the wrist for that one, Patrick. Worst shot of the week to Keith Lee with his less than stellar performance. We have one fan that agrees with us totally on that choice. Best shot of the week has to be Clyde Drexler of Portland with this aerial attack, and Magic says, yeah, man, that was a great shot. Not even the dog races are honest anymore. Watch the number 3 dog as he gets bumped out of the race by one of his opponents. But don't fear, he just sits and waits for the rest of the pack to catch up, and then he makes them eat his dust down the stretch. That's not fair, is it? Why, sure it's fair. All's fair in love and greyhound racing. Go you, number 3. And how about this new sport for overweight horses, or maybe for jockeys who aren't quite sure exactly what a horse looks like? Look at them go. Get a watch to time the finish of that one. Now, I thought being a referee meant keeping your head on your shoulders. Obviously, one fan doesn't think so, and here's Joel Otto doesn't think so either. Jim Poplinski says, boy, you are in trouble now, Joel. Ron Finn, the victim there. The magic trick of the week goes to Neil Sheehy in his magic helmet. Now, that's obedience. Well done. Our best golf shot of the week is a tie. Bill Sanders teaches everybody how to take a few strokes off the golf game with an amazing shot from the fairway bunker. Bingo. Bill says, I do this all the time. After all, my name is Sanders. But Dan Portsman's not to be outdone. He drains this chip on the 18th at the USF&G in New Orleans. Dan gets the nod as the week's winner because he gets a little more excited than Bill. All right, Dan. And before we go with the real Jerry Tarkanian, please stand up. Exit stage left, Jerry. You're done for this year.
I've heard that anthem about 6 times in the last week, and I still think it's brutal. There should be something in the Constitution against
The
that.
sad thing is, Peter, that I had that dog that got disqualified. I got the ticket right here.
Yeah, it's your kind of week.
Before we leave...
Just when you thought it was safe to pop out and put the kettle on, we've come up with another collection of sporting blunders.
Now, the answer to our...
Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's the plays of the week. Okay, everyone take your positions. Now, how can you tell Chris Morris is a rookie? Can't make his mind up. The guy's a monument to indecision. And Kareem says, yeah, I remember when I was a rookie back in 1941, I think it was. And it's a cheerleading contest in Atlanta. Everyone can come and try out for this one, but have a look at this little girl in Philadelphia. She says, no, I want no part of that dance. And who says they're having hard times in Boston? Someone remind these two guys that Bird's not in. And speaking of superstars, you'd think that Michael Jordan could at least afford some laces for his Air Jordans. And you talk about distractions. Have a look at this dirty trick they played in Houston on Seattle's Michael Cage. Cage, though, has eyes only for the basket. And watch the lady in the second row. She gets hammered by Charles Oakley. Ouch. Who says NBA action is fantastic? And keep your eye on Karl Malone here. Talk about fantastic mismatches. Malone and Isaiah Thomas are about to go at it, and Malone says, hey, little guy, do I have to remind you how short you are? About 6'1". Yeah, I bench press 3 times your weight. I'll crush you. Okay, now to baseball, and keep your eye on umpire Rocky Rowe standing between second and third. Jim Rice of the Boston Red Sox lines a bullet at him, and Rowe barely gets out of the way with his life. Rowe realizes he almost had the commissioner's signature tattooed to his forehead. What a move. Now for some more slick moves. What about the lowly Atlanta Braves? They seem to have found an outfielder here. Tommy Gregg with one great play to his right, and another one coming back the other way to his left. And now in hockey, the LA Kings think they have finally found a way to beat the Flames. They got Smokey to put them out, but you'll never find them in your hockey cards. The save of the week was turned in by Islanders' Jeff Hackett, who followed the puck around the net and made the save the hard way. Nice one, though. The non-save of the week was turned in by Jacques Cloutier. Hey, Jacques, sharpen those skates, buddy. Come on. Doug Wilson of the Blackhawks wishes he never got up because he goes right back down hard again. And the bad do of the week did go to this youngster. It went to this guy with a combination Mr. T and Boz cut. You know that those two guys belong to Don King's stable. Give me 5. Maybe not. Well, we'll take you from the ridiculous...
So now it's time for that special moment here on TSN, like putting that cherry on the top of your sundae, like Da Vinci putting the finishing touches on the Mona Lisa. This is our masterpiece, the Plays of the Week, TSN style.
People are just going crazy over the NHL playoffs, but somebody tell me who let this guy in the cap center. Wow. Speaking of crazy, here's the bounce of the week. John Casey will tell you, yeah, I planned it that way. Canada's Don Walchuk takes a bad bounce himself. I wonder how these guys won the gold medal at the World Curling Championships anyway. And follow the bouncing ball coming up. Wow, some people's kids. The wild pitch of the week goes to Bruce Ruffin. Here's number 1. And if that wasn't all, here's number 2 coming up. Tom Nieto, the bat catcher, really getting a workout on this one. Here's number 3 by Ruffin. And 4 times by Bruce Ruffin. Talk about wild pitches. Kind of reminds you of the guy in Bull Durham, doesn't he? Sure, Jimmy Williams, manager of the Blue Jays, got a kick out of that. Best hit of the week on a pitch-out goes to Steve Sachs of the Yankees, and also the Yankees, the charitable donation of the week going to Roberto Kelly, giving to his favorite charity, the Cleveland Indians. Thanks, Roberto. Watch this kid. He'll show you how to make the big grab. Always bring your glove to the park. The hit of the week goes to Mark Messier on Wayne Gretzky. You can tell these guys are old friends, right? But here's the real hit of the week. These 2 Oakland fans. Bingo! Whoa, you talk about a sucker punch. The new sport of the week, tug-of-war on ice. But disappointing news, the winning team was later disqualified because it was discovered they had studs on their shoes.
Nobody won.
I wonder who got the decision.
I still can't believe that left hand.
Well, it looks like the Toronto Blue Jays are first for you. See, we know that you stuck around to see the always great, never late, bound to make you feel great Plays of the Week, TSN style.
Everybody's talking about TSN's Plays of the Week. Hi, girls. And apparently, people are willing to do anything to make it on TSN's Plays of the Week, including your big superstars like Dominique Wilkins. And who says synchronized swimmers aren't great athletes? First of all, this is a 101-year-old Chicago White Sox fan, threw it 12 feet 6 1/4 inches. Here's Carolyn Waldo, 6 feet shorter. That's brutal, Carolyn. Brooke Jacoby, as we go to baseball with a catch of the week, or one of them, feet never touch the ground in foul territory, so it's an out. Here's Ivan Calderon in right field making a catch. Now let's go to Andy Van Sleight of Hand. This guy is amazing. You thought that was good? Nothing like this one. Here's one for the Hall of Fame. What a catch by Andy Van Sleight of Hand. Here's slightly bad hand, Glenn Wilson. Nice play, Glenn. And we finally learned why they call this the Green Monster, because it will reach down and bite your head off, as Mike Greenwell found out. In football, hardest catch is over the shoulder. Not so for Jose Oquendo in baseball. And here's Ivan Calderon at home in left field as well. This guy had a big week. And who says that Tom Bernansky doesn't have great range in right field for St. Louis? Nice catch, Tom. And, you know, everybody's making a big deal about Ron Hextall scoring a goal. Big deal. The guy's got 1 goal in the playoffs. The guy's 38th in playoff scoring. Here's your reaction of the week in golf. Tom Pertzer from the bunker, number 17, 1 hop, 2 hops, 3 hops, and in, and he says, well, that's a birdie, isn't it? Now let's get into the fans of the week. Here's your runner-up. Falls out, gets a beer spilled on his head, misses the ball, spills his beer, and bangs his head, then blames it on the fan beside him. But here's your winner. I'll tell you what, Oakland's in big trouble. Jose Canseco's out. Here's their replacement center fielder. This guy says, hey, man, isn't Woodstock around here?
Man, did you see that guy's shirt? It was bright. I need my sunglasses to check that guy out.
But the big story is he's still alive. Another, it's time to comb the videotapes for the last 7 days or so and remember some special moments. We call this feature the Plays of the Week.
What is everybody all excited about? Why, it's the Plays of the Week, of course. Among other things, it's real easy to be excited about great catches in baseball. Look at Freddie Lynn here. A couple of times in the past week, Freddie Lynn has gone to the wall and taken great hits away from players. And Brett Butler for the Giants. And how about Mookie Wilson takes on the ball on the wall and wins on behalf of the Mets? All right, we've seen how the pros do it. Let's see how the fans in Philadelphia do it. No, my gracious, not like that. And not all the pros can be as good as Freddie Lynn and Mookie Wilson, and not like that either, but a good effort. Take a seat. Thank you very much. Okay, one more look at how the pros do it. Kevin Elster at shortstop. Watch him. Nice play. Now, that's exciting. And yet one fan didn't think so. He's dozed off. People say big leaguers make good salaries. Keith Hernandez is going a little late on lunch, and here's a guy that either can't afford a bat or is hitting cleanup. How about Jeff Reed? Thank goodness for protection. And how about the fans in Chicago? They're in a cage. They can't get out. If you think that's embarrassing, look at Bob Engel. He calls strike 3. Oops, it's only strike 2, Bob. You just made the Plays of the Week. Keep that hand up there. We don't want to see you smiling. Ricky Henderson getting a back rub for good luck, maybe just trying to stay warm. And Jim Rice, what does he do for good luck? He's got a 15-game hitting streak going. Looks like Will Clark's a little jealous. And out in center field, here's Kenny Walker with a little stroll in the park with a chum. That's it for you, the Plays of the Week.
And that's everything on this edition of the Sports Desk. We'll have live coverage of the Dublin.
Sometimes they'll make you laugh, and other times you just won't believe your eyes. Get ready, folks. Get your VCRs ready. It's time for the Plays of the Week, TSN style. Okay, let's start off with IBF welterweight champ Simon Brown throwing out the first pitch at a baseball game, and he beans the umpire. Speaking of Brown, who'd have figured that Tony Orlando would give up singing to referee Brown's championship bout last week? And here's another who'd have thought. Who'd have thought that dwarf tossing would become a competitive sport? And here's the record-breaking throw. Nice bounce. Here's our illegal substitution of the week. Yannick Noah gets a ball girl to take on Andre Agassi for him. Her forehand just too overpowering for amazing Andre. Nice shot. Unfortunately, her plays seem to rub off on the guys. Have a look at this. These guys are really peppering the ball over the net. Great speed and great shots. Okay, now to the hardwood. First run-up for Jam of the Week. Charles Barkley says, Charles Oakley, how do you like that one? A Spalding burger. Then there's Dominique Wilkins, the double pump I Am Flying Slam Jam. That's the Yowza of the Week by Neek. Our shot from 90 miles out of the week, Mark Jackson puts this one in from Australia. Oh, my. And he reminds everybody who number 1 is, too. Our save of the week goes to Ken Regan. Watch him rob Paul Coffey. Coffey stoned right there, and Coffey says to Mario, says, man, Mario, what do I have to do to beat that guy? He is amazing. And you bet he was. Now our personality of the week, Cubs announcer Harry Carey. He dances like a madman. He's been known to take the odd drink or so. Look at that. And he's not afraid of corporate sponsorship either. This guy does it all. He pitches, he hits, and Carey even takes himself deep. He touches all 4. Harry Carey, our personality of the week.
Holy cow.
Was in Chicago last year. The guy's a legend down there.
Amazing. And
bigger than you on
sport and any sport. But from now on, that will be without baseball. Major League Baseball has adopted a rule that no television stations can use baseball footage in their Plays of the Week. It's beyond our control, so here's TSN's Plays of the Week, minus Major League Baseball.
Our first stop this week, the TSN newsroom. The boys having a little hearty dinner after a hard day's work. Bet you didn't know we allowed cheerleaders in the newsroom, did ya? Let's go to the hardwood. By the time this Darryl Griffith shot made it through the hoop, Utah was already out of the playoffs. Here Dan Marley says to the Denver Nuggets, too bad you can't hang around a bit longer. Okay, back to the sandwich. The boys seem to be taking their time. And after dinner, how about a little dancing? If this was a high school dance, they'd be probably kicked out for dancing too closely. And this is Charles Barkley saying to Patrick Ewing of the Knicks, dance with you? Oh, never. from our ejection of the week to our steal and power jam of the week. And oh, what a surprise. It belongs to Michael Jordan. Who else? Doug Collins says, hey, that was great, but how are those guys doing with the sandwich? I think I work with these guys. No baseball this week, but we do have a hot water bottle blowing up contest. That's just as fun anyways. The guys usually like to go for a run after consuming such a large dinner, but something got in the way here. Obstacle course, I guess. Thing they like doing the most? Eating. Bon appetit.
And we'll have more on this exciting...
And here's the best catch under duress. Pirate shortstop Rafael Belliard, in the midst of a traffic jam, nevertheless, came up with it. At Fenway, the foul grounder, an adventure for this agile fan who manages to gracefully return to his seat. Routine ground ball to Dick Schofield at short, but not a routine throw, as the batter Omar Vizquel of Seattle discovered. A couple of pitchers in the spotlight. Mark Langston of the Mariners having some fun with himself. Following the foul back, watch the throw from umpire Doug Harvey, which got the attention of Dwight Gooden. A look at some bruising baseball. The strikeout by Bo Jackson of the Royals, who then takes it out on his bat. Roberto Alomar of the Padres fouls one off his face, which led to several stitches. QB Brooks of the Expos with a swing and a miss, with the runner going, and the flying bat helps the steal attempt of Damaso Garcia. To the unusual, following a base hit, a playful Jim Rice with a friendly gesture for George Brett. Frank White of the Royals taking a rest at the expense of Boston catcher Rich Gedman. And we close with embarrassing moments. Willie Randolph of the Dodgers looking to score, but Willie, you have to touch home plate. Willie did recover. Jim Traber of the Orioles trying for two. This, not the slide he had in mind. And Tommy Gregg of the Braves taking a call, third strike, one problem. It was only strike two, as plate umpire Bob Engel eventually realized and was able to laugh it off. And that wraps up this edition of our pregame show. Baseball doubleheader is...
Time to look back on the plays of the week. Here's Gino Reda.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the TSN Plays of the Week. We start off in hockey with the saves of the week. Alain Chevrier on Joel Otto. Moments later on Joey Mullen. Not to be outdone, Montreal's Patrick Roy on Mike Buller. And now on the basketball, here's the layup of the week, Bill Cartwright of the Bulls. Coach Doug Collins not real happy with that, but Michael Jordan says, don't worry, Coach, I'll get it back for us. And now the hook shot of the week. Watch this by Ricky Pierce of the Milwaukee Bucks. Del Harris can't believe it, just shakes his head and walks off. And Jack Nicholson says, I can't believe it, man. But David Keith says, hey, Jack, don't worry about it, buddy. TSN's bringing back Major League Baseball in Plays of the Week. Wait till you see some of these highlights, Jack. They're awesome. On to Fenway Park now, the ball boy. Watch this grab. Sign that kid up. Maybe he should be on the outfield playing Major League Baseball, replacing guys like Mitch Webster. Watch this. Whoops. How about Donnell Nixon? Back up against the wall. Whoops. On the outside of the glove. Now on to some defensive gems. Andres Thomas takes one for the team. And the Philly Fanatic comes up with its own version of the squeeze play. Bo Jackson needs a new bat. And now on to the catches of the week. Keith Hernandez of the Mets. Here's one that got away. Brett Butler of the Giants. But he gets that one back. And who says baseball's not a contact sport? Just ask Cleveland's Corey Snyder. And speaking of sports, Don Zimmer has an announcement to make, introducing the newest Olympic sport, demonstration board in 1992, baseball tarp sliding. Here's the American entry, led by Dodgers' Rick Dempsey and teammate John Shelby. And of course, as most Olympic sport events go, there's the team competition, synchronized tarp sliding. Rumor has it Carolyn Waldo and Michelle Cameron will be Canada's entry at the next Olympic. Some guys will do anything to make plays of the week. What do you think, guys? Are we there? Yeah, we're there.
You may just see a few plays of the week from the Montreal-Calgary game, one of the Stanley Cup final. Calgary beating Montreal by a score of 3-2.
That came right here in Richard Petty's pit. They were filling his gas tank when a spark set the spilling gas on fire. The rest of the gas supply caught on fire, exploded. The crew and cameraman scattered. Petty smartly drove away, and that put the fire on his car out. But one crew member was sent to the hospital with burns, and he is listed in critical condition tonight. Chemung's Jeff Bodine blew a tire after being near the lead most of the way, and he was out with that crash into the wall, and the race came down to a duel between... It's been a hot spring for Darryl Strawberry. First, he got into it with teammate Keith Hernandez. Now, this weekend, he had two more scuffles, this time with the opposition, Toronto Blue Jays. There was hot blood in Washington when Harvey Grant and Mike Jaminski played who can throw it harder, and Grant was the winner. They say there's less and less room for the small man in the NBA, and with 7-foot 6-inch Manute Bol doing this, there may not be room. And finally, this was a fine rendition of the national anthem, but her exit wasn't so smooth. You gotta watch your step. That's the looking for.
And this week, Plays of the Week turns green for St. Patrick's Day. We saw many examples of shades of green. Actually, it was Greenpeace that was out to protect this guy. In baseball, we saw green bases, green home plate, we saw green hats, and you know what? I'm still feeling a little bit green myself from the fat guy with the shamrock on his stomach. Still more green. The New York Mets had their green sweaters on. Now watch this girl's reaction who says, hey, mine's blue. What a ripoff. Our team of the week are the Toronto Blue Jays, who went for revenge against the umpires. Here, Jeff Musselman shows you why he's got a Yale degree. He's smart enough to take off when Darryl Strawberry comes calling, but he got ejected from the game. So here come the Jays against the umpires. Bruce Fleming nailed by Mike Flanagan. Say, isn't that the guy with the shamrock on his stomach? Watch the Blue Jays go after the umpires again in this one. An intended double play. Dave Steve with the flip to Tony Fernandez, who touches the runner and then says, whoa, I'm going to get you, ump. And the ump says, I'm taking off out of here. Now, Plays of the Week turns to basketball and hoops, and a new inbounds play. It goes Johnny Newman with the slam to Xavier McDaniel, and Xavier off the face of Johnny Newman. Michael Jordan says, hey, that's kind of cute. Say, aren't you Charlton Heston? Watch revenge now for Xavier McDaniel, who dunks in the face of Johnny Newman and then says, well, he doesn't say anything. Remember, you used to play four horses in the driveway? Well, try repeating this one. And Michael Jordan says to Charlton, man, that guy's got a shamrock up his... Well, never mind, we'll talk about that another time. Let's go to the National Hockey League right now. In the cage match of the week, Chris Chelios against Lou Franchisetti. You'll see this one in the main event 6. All right, here's your runner-up for goal of the week. Steve Yzerman over the head of Kevin Lowe, and Jacques Demers says, hey, man, that's got to be goal of the week. Jack, here's the goal of the week. It's Steve Duchesne off the back of Bernie Nichols. Now, Bernie says, hey, Steve, thanks for getting me on Plays of the Week, but can you shoot a little softer next time?
All right, Mike. And the horse. Who's smarter? Well, Picks of the Week might help clarify that. Imagine having a couple of bucks on the number 10 horse on the outside here at Laurel, which only goes to show you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him race. And confirms our belief that dogs have it all over horses. I mean, how many thoroughbreds have you seen on a skateboard? Or one with the presence of mind to do this. The greyhound trailing the field here wipes out on the left turn. While the race continues, his options are limited. He could quit, most do, or he could cheat. Watch as the field comes back to the scene of the crime, and watch our enterprising canine re-enter the race. A full lap fresher, the stretch run, is a piece of cake. Now, you might have trouble collecting on the effort, but you have to respect his ambition.
Isn't that great? That's
Still to come today from Sportsline, our trivia answer.
American Hockey League record for penalty minutes. But did you know that he can dance? In our Picks of the Week.
Ice ballet, revealing the gentler side of Rob. No matter, he got a game misconduct for it. Compare the punishment. Kevin McGuire got a mere 5 minutes for this display. The moral? Fight. Don't dance. No problem here, at least as far as the law is concerned. Past that, though, he's on his own. Enter the young, flying in the face of the old hockey adage, if you can't skate, you can't score.
Big swing off the boards to center ice for Gage. Slides it ahead for Martin, trying to get it back. Now in on the left wing side. Anderson takes his shot. Stick stop by Billington. Puck in the slot. Big swing moves in. He shoots. He scores!
See that at the end, he had the Ken Priestley down real nice.
Court. We start with University of Texas El Paso coach Don Haskins, all dressed up for the plays of the month. Bobby Knight, stripping the coach right at center court. Says, hey, Bobby, have you gained a few pounds? Enjoy the pasta. The most nonchalant shot from Liddell Eccles, beyond half court. He did it like there was nothing to it. The most unnonchalant shot. Check this out, folks. Chad Ballas of White Lake Christian School in Montauk, Michigan. 3/4 court. He throws that sucker like a bullet. Is that a great shot? Now, that's a great shot. Coach, did you like that shot? We all did, yeah. South Alabama coach Ron Arrow says, man, if my team had hit more of those, we'd still be playing basketball. The garbage shot of the month. This is it. Portland's Terry Porter. Terry, how could you even let him count that shot? That was pure unadulterated garbage, man. I like that. The Pacers coach who best imitated Perry Mason losing a case. Dick Versailles, who would say, you know, Perry Mason never supposed to lose. And then with a chair. Chill out. It's going to be all right. Cheap shot of the month right here. Tennessee Chattanooga's number 44 in white. Keep your eye on him. Keep your eye on number 44 on the cheerleader. Jenny Worley will remember that game. The worst punch of the month. In boxing, Evander Holyfield, low blow on Michael Dose. It'll take more than Rolaids to make him feel good, right? The punch of the month. Michael Nunn on Stumbo Kalembe. Was this a shot or was this a shot, folks? That to retain his middleweight title. The hockey punch of the month, are punches, if you will. Devils David Maley on Islanders Dale Henry a bunch of times. The longest shot on ice was a bizarre one. The Bruins' Michael Feldman from beyond the red line past Peter Sidorkiewicz. Peter, I know you don't want to see that again, but man, what a great shot. I like that one. The best goal of the month, Rangers' Thomas Sandstrom. This is the best individual effort of the month. He gets tripped up. He maintains his balance. He gets hit from behind. He maintains his balance. While falling down, he shoots and scores. Thomas, that's the best of the month. The best, very best shot, I like this. I think that Gary Lehman, who takes the shot, that guy up there in the balcony must have dated his girlfriend or something. Did he get him? What a great shot. Yeah, I love that. Second best golf shot of the month. Bill Sanders in New Orleans. From out of the bunker. This from 139 yards for an eagle. You don't get any better than that. Well, yes, you do get better than that. In fact, I'll show it to you right here. The golf shot of the month. Greg Norman on the first hole of sudden death in Orlando, Florida, from 97 yards away. This was a chip shot. Would you look at the reverse spin on that? Tell me he didn't have a magnet in there. Hey, if it's baseball time, you know that Len Dykstra is going to make an appearance again. Go get him, Len Dykstra. Welcome back to the Plays of the Month. It's good to have you with us. How far will a fan go to be on the sports machine? This is my favorite. This fan is this is the fan that Norman Rockwell would have painted, right? Here's a kid who goes and gets the ball. He's so excited he doesn't know who to go show. Hey, where's the sports machine cameras? He says, am I going to make the machine? My friend, you make the machine. Go ahead, now let me see your baseball. Yeah, that's springtime. Check out this race. This is my favorite dog, Ziggity Boom. Ziggity Boom is last. He's running dead last, right? He gets bumped and he falls down, okay? So you figure, well, he's out of the race. Wait a minute. My dog Ziggity Boom ain't dumb. So here they come around the track now. Keep your eye very carefully. Say, well, where did Ziggity Boom go? Ziggity Boom is going to be on the left of your screen. He says, I've been waiting for you guys. Ziggity Boom ain't out of breath. Ziggity Boom says, now I'm ready to go. From dead last, having run only half a lap. Come on, Ziggity, put the pressure on. He's up to second place. He's up to Ziggity Boom. From the is he mad, is he bad? Coach, did you like him? Absolutely. Coach Steve Fisher, I knew that you would like the Plays of the Month. Thanks for letting us be a part of your weekend.
The first ball. Picks of the Week has an example of contrasting styles.
What's the one thing George Bush has that Tom Landry doesn't? Except for a job, of course. A heater. Tom Landry's lost a little off his fastball. As the baseball season opens, the Yankees are struggling. Some think they should go back to wearing the pinstripes. The best plays are being turned in by that team's fans. They call this the Grand National, but it looks more like a torture test for some of these horses. Owners, trainers, and jockeys go through a lot of trouble to keep their animals in racing form, but left to their own means sometimes, they don't do too badly. Do they?
That is Sports Sunday. It is worth what you make of it. Something the goaltender Ron Hextall knows a lot about.
Peters heads off right now. Hextall stops it. Flips
Look out.
down the ice.
It's got a chance. It's got a chance.
He's got it. Yes, sir.
Meanwhile, Kevin Lowstick hasn't been nearly as useful and suffers the consequences. Hey, guys, over here. That's better. Two of the less common alley-oop attempts. This one fails. This one does not. Depending, of course, which side of the wall you're on. And finally, this update from the Omni in Atlanta.
State-of-the-art scoreboard right there for that is sport. Their interstate skate, the Penguins, a trick shot. It isn't just a trick shot if you know how and when to use it.
Yannick Noah is the ultimate hot dog. He's the first I remember using this shot. But too often it occurs in desperation. Leave it to Gabriella Sabatini to improve on it. Far court, she adds the shot to her mix of weapons, all of which were utilized in this point, a winner against Steffi Graf. Over the years, the preferred manner of greeting has changed, high fives and the like. Somehow I get the feeling this one isn't going to catch on to any great degree. While in the neighborhood, meet the lucky butt, a good luck charm in L.A. Perhaps charm is the wrong word. Still more from Degraded Disc Jockey Week. Two of Utica's finest getting a taste of life in the fast lane, a chocolate bath for losing to the Hershey hockey team. Thankful it wasn't Pittsburgh, where molten steel is in abundance.
Probably an event we can all do without. That is
in the building.
Too. Over time, the good sportscaster learns control. The ability not to overstate any situation is something to be proud of, but not something often practiced in our picks of the week.
A day in the life of Mario.
Here's Lemieux, put it in there, look at that! His fourth goal! He picked Hextall's pocket like he was walking down Fifth Avenue, and the Penguins lead 5-1. Oh, great balls of fire!
That was a hat trick. Here's another. And one more, an ode to higher education. Dwight Gooden's not getting hit much these days, but every once in a while, there's the base hit to center. Milt Thompson up with the ball, and he's coming home, and it's just a little short. Here's to resourcefulness. This won't win Kevin Mitchell a gold glove, perhaps a gold palm. Nice job. And who said that being there is twice the fun? What are you doing after the game?
That is Sports Sunday.
The month of April, we're going around the world of sports with our Mr. Wild and Wacky. He's just looking for somebody to dance. She says, I don't want to dance with you, man. You're weird. So can we get anybody to dance? Yep, found somebody who wants to dance with him across the way. Maybe that's Dancing Barry's sister. I always wonder what she looks like. All right, let's get to baseball with the Pirates Parrot. Our first opening pitch. Welterweight champ Simon Brown, who hits the umpire with the opening pitch. Is that a wild pitch or is that a wild pitch? The almost catch of the month, Roberto Kelly. 1 minute you're out, the next minute it's a home run. Roberto is there, makes the catch, hits the wall. Oh, Roberto. How many curse words can you go through your mind in that short a span of time? Where is home plate? Again, it's Roberto Kelly. He slides. Was he safe or out? Ump says he's out. Jim McKean, where was it? Dallas says, show me, I don't believe it. Show me on home plate that he didn't touch the plate. Hey, a little imitation of Billy Martin. Billy's gone, but the memory lingers on. The best slide, Don Mattingly. Should have been out by 100 miles, but Brooke Jacoby never got there. Good move, Don. I know it was luck, but it was a nice slide. The worst catch of the month, Ivan Calderon of the White Sox. Ivan, what happened on that one, man? The second best catch of the month, Brady Anderson of the Orioles. This is an all-out dive. Oh, Brady Anderson, what a catch. I said that's the second best because this is the best. Kevin Mitchell of the Giants. Is this a catch or is this great? He's waving a flag at that ball. Kevin, they make gloves, man. Use that thing. Check out our catcher. Terry says, are you kidding me? Did he catch that sucker? Yes, he did. A catch like that will put some hair on your chest. That'll make a man out of you. Or it'll give you a sore hand. What price for a souvenir? Check out our fan in Boston who has beer spilled on him, goes to climb back in, knocks over another beer, falls on his backside, and then he says to his friend, can I have my baseball? His friend says, no, man, I got the baseball. I got the baseball. Nice friendship. Excited to have baseball back, are you? This guy's really into it. Come on, man, wake up and we'll get you the No Moss Award. Here it is, Rafael Pineda, who will walk away from Mark Breland. And then Breland says, here. And then Pineda says, wait a minute. He gets between them, right? Payback is a wonderful thing, isn't it? Hockey's cheap shot. Chris Nyland on Mario Lemieux. Watch out, Mario. Down goes Mario Lemieux. The surprise shot of the month. Check this out. This guy ain't playing with a full deck. The Kung Fu Charlie. Check him out. Whoa! Hey, that's... Oh, I can do... Yeah, right, sure you can. The unbreakable glass. Trent Yawney, who will come through the glass. Trent Yawney and Greg Lowry of the Blues. Got to check into the unbreakable. History makes Ron Hextall. Ron Hextall, goaltender for the Philadelphia Flyers. They'll talk about this for years to come. Never has a goaltender scored a goal in Stanley Cup playoff hockey. Ron Hextall did it. First and only man in the history of the NHL to do it. The golf shot of the month. Was this a classic or was this a classic? Hal Sutton in the Masters. It appears to be a bad shot, way beyond the pin. But from the fringe, it starts to roll, starts to roll, starts to roll, keeps on rolling. Keeps on rolling. I'm saying, ain't no way. There ain't no way. There ain't no way. Hal Sutton gets the roll all the way. It's nice to be lucky. I know you're good, Hal, but you had a little luck on that one, too. Payne Stewart, did you like that? Yeah, singing in the rain, sure. Speaking of long shots, the best in basketball, was it Reggie Lewis of the Celtics from half court, from the top of his head? What a pretty shot. Or was it Charles Davis of the Bulls from also half court? Which did you like? Don't say the Bulls, because if you do, Jimmy Rogers of the Celtics will get furious with you. He liked the Reggie Lewis shot a whole lot better. You win it. Hot shot of the month. Andy Sachs in Chicago. You had to make 5 baskets in 30 seconds. He's out of time. He throws at the buzzer. $10,000 for Andy Sachs in Chicago. 3-pointer at the buzzer. You're the best, Andy. The quickest recovery goes to Dwayne Hargo of Altanina, California. Young man from outside Los Angeles, California, Dwayne Hargo, who would get right back up and keep on going. Hottest new wrestler of the month. I love him. The Great Muta, who has never lost, with a spinning move and then flying over the ring. He can leap tall buildings if his mind so decides, and dancing our way through the plays of the month of April. Guy wanted to be on all the time. He knew that.
He's got a million of them, a few of which found their way into our picks of the week.
Dickie Thorne of the Astros in search of a seam in the Cincinnati outfield. He finds it for a seeing-eye triple. We may never see metal bats in the majors, but there are still a few guys using steel gloves. In Atlanta, the bats have come alive, and Joe Price demonstrates the slip pitch. The weather has taken its toll, a scene from a tennis court anywhere in the East, along with a little friendly advice.
Go home to your family. The tennis is over.
Changing sports now.
What do you say? God stinks. What?
Now, wait a minute. You can't be too down on a sport when Mother Nature is providing the equipment and you can play out of your front yard. Not to mention in any weather, which certainly seems to have come in handy this spring.
While on the subject, the Arts Howard Johnson, and he might just scowl at you in our picks of the week.
On Saturday, it was Ho-Joe at the bat, beginning with a slice to left that Marvell Wynn ran down. So next time, Johnson tries the right side, hits the ball better, but the ever-nimble Jack Clark pulls this one in. How about that, Howie? Excuse me? Sunday's a new day, and Howard got on base at third, trying to score on a sac fly. In vain. Johnson's at first this time. Keith Hernandez doubles. Johnson rounds third with obvious trepidation, and sure enough, the baseball waits for him at home. Tough, sure, but better than a foul tip in the face. Who's silly here? You can make a case for all of them, but give credit where credit is due. This works on water. It's less effective on dirt.
That is Reed, but once in a while, someone breaks the mold in our Picks of the Week.
Just for kicks, let's see if we can spot the TV people in this crowd of Lilac 10Kers. There's Steve Richards, followed closely by Bullet Bob Longo. Steve won this personal battle. How'd we know? Just a guess. Other athletes know simply by their first name: Reggie, Mario, Michael. Jordan had some week against the Knicks. What he's done is to take the game as left by Julius Erving and elevate it. Nice job, Michael. Faces in and around the crowd, bucking the law for a baseball. A great effort by the ball girl in Seattle. And a nice catch by a fan with one of the cheapest seats around Wrigley. All of which tells us that not all the best plays are being turned in by those being paid to do it.
Is that a Sports Sunday?
Great. We'll bump the Waltrip team member, and yeehaw, the good old boys having a good old time down in the pits. We've got a scrap in the pits, full contact NASCAR scrapping. That has to have a big future. Maybe here on TSN we could perhaps run it right after Truck and Tractor Pull. In Plays of the Week, we endeavor both to entertain and to inform. This week we thought we would unveil the guy we think is going to be the first pitching phenom of the next century. And this is the guy. He's going to be the first great pitcher of the next century. They call him the Kid, but the Kid's a little bit wild, wouldn't you say? Just a little bit wild. That's okay, though. He's got some pretty good defense behind him. Whew, Tommy Lasorda, breathtaking catch. Would have been breathtaking if he hadn't have caught it. And look out, Kid, take a good look. The umpire's trying to steal a base on you. The umpire trying to steal, but he's tagged out by Steve Sachs. Sachs turning the double play. Yes. Ken Caminetti trying to help the Kid out with some good defense. Defense, get it? Defense got it. Hey, this game's starting to get just a little bit rough. The bats are flying everywhere. You ever hear the expression, taking the bat out of their hands? That's exactly what was going on. Game's getting a little bit rough for the Kids, so time to take them out of there. And we'll see you in around the year 2000 there, Kid. Don't take it so rough. The Kid's gone. The game doesn't get any tamer, though. Just ask Charlie Paleo. Or, for that matter, ask Dave Anderson. Takes one for the team on this play. Watch, Dave, you've heard the expression, using your head. And you've heard the expression, perennial all-star. How about cranial all-star? Off the cranium once. And once again, Roberto Kelly proves he has the hardest cranium in the league. Off the noggin again, Ken Griffey Jr. picks himself up an inside-the-park home run. And before we go, we take you to Indianapolis, site of the latest series of TSN announcer auditions. Actually, I was wrong. Those were not announcer auditions. Those were auditions for the next series of TSN.
Most of our editorial assistants, it's time for Plays of the Week.
Welcome to the Plays of the Week, but first our saying of the week. Hey, that looks like my sister. You ever wonder what commentators do during commercial breaks?
You gotta hold on me, no matter what you do. I only wanna be with you.
Don't give up your day jobs, boys. Now, on a sour note, Chet Lemon begins our catches of the week. Not to be outdone by the Mets' Mookie Wilson robbing Eddie Murray of a home run. Or how about the Giants' Tracy Jones? Mike Pagliarulo makes the infield out of the week, turning himself inside out. Now, you've heard of marathoners hitting the wall. How about ball players? Right, Ken Griffey Jr.? And the next night, he is nailed trying to steal second base. Ever have one of those weeks? His dad didn't have a great week either. Ken Griffey Sr. keeps Plays of the Week in the family by getting on with this great steal of first base. You were safe all the way, right, big guy? Meanwhile, back to our TSN Woman of the Week, the Dynamite Lady, climbing into a box of dynamite. That's right, a box of dynamite. I know you're climbing the walls to know what she's going to do in that box of dynamite, but first we got to show you some great basketball plays of the week. Detroit Pistons, nobody's safe when there's a loose ball on the court, and that includes Detroit coach Chuck Daly, who was crushed by Mark Aguirre, who wanted to discuss some post-game dinner arrangements with somebody in the fourth row. Meanwhile, back to the dynamite lady. She gets blowed up real good, right? Somebody revive her, quick, get her some water. Get her some water. Get her some water, we said. Yeah, that's right. You got the right idea, Roger McDowell. Our TSN Woman of the Week, the Dynamite Lady. Wonder what she's like on a date. Pretty explosive, I'll bet.
I wonder how she kept that thing on.
Wacky and weird. What a...
In the parking lot as a result of the letters flooding in because of last week's Plays of the Week. We had the Dynamite Lady blowing herself up. That was award-winning television, let me tell you. Tough to top that, but here goes with edition number 214 of the TSN Plays of the Week. All right, here it is for kids of all ages, the TSN Plays of the Week. And the best hit of the week, Junior Felix of the Toronto Blue Jays with an inside-the-park double. No, triple. No, an inside-the-park home run. Believe it or not. Great running, Junior, although he looks just a little bit tired after it's all over. The runner-up for catch of the week has to do almost as much running as Junior Felix did to get to it, and Gary Pettis does. But the winner isn't Gary Pettis, it is Tim Wallach. The batter is Chris James. And would it surprise you to learn that Chris James was traded after the game? How not to do it? Dave Henderson. Bad move. And this guy says, I wonder if they still have that pizza on sale. I'll get up and check things out. Meanwhile, our old men stop to have a little bit of fun on their way to the court. And we will move right along to our next chapter of Plays of the Week, How to Start a Fire. Oral Hershiser does a pretty good job hitting Hubie Brooks, but Oral's worth too many millions, and Hubie's not going to get anywhere near him. Here's how you start a real fire. Pascal Perez brushing back Mike Scioscia, and here he comes rumbling out, and here comes everybody else. Kirk Gibson gets the worst, but watch him on the left of your screen. 23. Whoa, baby. What's that? 5 expos on top of Kirk Gibson. And I wonder how the deodorant's holding out. Best effort of the week in the NBA, Michael Jordan goes out of bounds and comes back in for a great reverse layup over Bill Laimbeer. Isaiah Thomas dribbling right along, much to the delight of his coach, Chuck Daly, who has been watching Isaiah and the Pistons dribble their way into the NBA Finals. A new sport this week, bat throwing. Ruben Sierra, not bad at all. Threw his bat into the opponent's dugout. But we'll go you one better. Jeff Treadway of the Atlanta Braves clears his own dugout and sets some guy up on top of the dugout with a souvenir. Well, that's it for this week. I don't think Jimmy and Vitas could take much more anyways. Neither could I. Well, I don't know how great things are going in Winnipeg. They were all psyched up there, I guess, to host.
It's faster than an Al McInnes slap shot, and it goes farther than a Bo Jackson home run. What is it? It's the Plays of the Week, TSN style.
Hold on to your hats, everybody. It's time once again for the Plays of the Week. Thanks, Tim. Another edition of Nutty Plays, if you know what I mean. And this week, it's Fan Participation Week. Everybody's getting involved. But first, here's a look at the TSN newsroom minutes before Sports Desk. The guy in the middle is the producer. Ray Quinones gets Fan Participation Week going with a great throw to the fans. Just behind first. Gotta have your glove ready there. Andrei Chesnikov keeps the gallery on its toes with a line drive into the front row. And Bob Uecker says, hey, I thought this was Announcer Participation Week. And back to the old TSN newsroom. The show's coming together quite nicely, thank you very much. Jays fans haven't had much to cheer about lately. In fact, some are downright embarrassed, and Junior Felix shows why. But you think the Jays are bad? Have a look at Dallas Green's Yankees. The bad news Yankees, the house that Ruth built? Well, a house of horrors. Dallas Green getting a few more gray hairs, and it's not over yet. Meanwhile, back in the TSN newsroom, the producer and director still arguing over that lead story for Sports Desk. But for the ultimate in fan participation, we go back to baseball, Wrigley Field, where it's customary to throw the visitor's home run ball back onto the field. Well, Howard Johnson hits it out, and the guy on the street throws it right back. He hits the cutoff man. His throw is way up the line, but great teamwork anyway.
But a terrible arm, way up the line, about 40 yards. What's going on?
Just to recap, it means, yes, it's time for TSN's very own Plays of the Week.
Okay, calling the kids, it's time for the Father's Day edition of Plays of the Week. And Dad, we know you love your kids, but wouldn't you love to do this just once? I guess not, eh? Tom Watson got a nice Father's Day gift at the U.S. Open. He chips onto this elevated green. Watch the backspin. It's in the hole, but Tom doesn't know it. Surprise, Tom. Fortune's not as good for Jack Nicklaus. He chips onto the green, out of the rough, but look at the backspin. It goes right back to him. But check out Peter Jacobson. Someone's smiling on him on this shot. You know his grandkids are going to hear about this one. Edward Kelly says that's nothing. Watch this. As Bill Murray would say, it's in the hole. Now on to the boys of summer. Nice grab, Lenny Dykstra. And watch the Bo of summer. Great dive by Bo Jackson. Keeping it all in the family, Billy Ripken cuts off Cal to make this nice grab. Rick Miller shows off for the kids. Grounder up the middle, no problem. Of course, some people aren't as cool under pressure up the middle. Relax, Oral, nowhere near you, big guy. But boys will be boys. Didn't your father ever tell you not to play with fire? And here's a Father's Day souvenir. Well, sort of. Yeah, time catches up to us all, doesn't it, Dad? All you can do is teach your children well, like if it's a tie, flip for it. Way to go, guys. And Donald Southern says, good sportsmanship, I'll drink to that.
Gotta like those plays of the week. Just enough time to recap the day's stuff.
A game is tricky business at best, but you learn to recognize genius when you see it in our picks of the week.
That was get the ball, Michael. Everybody gets out of the way.
The play works just like it's designed, and a genius is born. Then there's Pat Riley, who knows enough to have Magic Johnson on his side. Pretty smart, huh? Roberto Kelly's using his head here, turning Ken Griffey Jr.'s bid for a base hit into an inside-the-park homer. So Dallas Green's no genius. Or is he?
Our own Ken Kaiser with a pump there in the umpire. That is fortunate.
All right. The most bizarre plays of the month of May. Let's go around the world. Hey, wake up, man. Come on. It's time for the plays of the month. Wake up. You're going to like this. Hey, wake up. Are you with me? Okay, now we're ready to roll. We told you we would deliver the pizzas. We did not, however, tell you in what shape they would arrive, right? The quickest way to mess up Chuck Daly's suit. Look out, Coach. Here comes Mark Aguirre. Well, obviously, Mark didn't like that tie around Chuck's tie at all. Hang time. This one defied gravity. Tell me how Michael Jordan did that. Michael, wait a minute. How did you possibly do that? Doug Collins, what'd you think of the Michael Jordan shots this month? You like them? I thought he would like them. See, when you're the coach, you like those shots. You don't know how he makes them, but you like what they do to your life and your security. Chuck Daly, what'd you think of Michael Jordan shots so far? Oh, my goodness, he made another one. I know, Coach, those things are going to happen to you. Surprise shot of the month. Did you see Magic Johnson? Was this luck? Was this talent? Or was this just a little magic, as he would say? Magic Johnson, incredible. What a shot. Yo, Doug Collins, what'd you think of that shot? Are you watching that one, Doug? Is it good? Oh, my good. Doug, you're worth a million words. Thank you. The Knicks' Rick Pitino, who says I can't have the Kentucky job. I don't know. Rick, are they going to offer it to you? Yeah, they're really going to offer it to you. That's for sure. Baseball shortstop play of the month goes to this man, the Wizard of Oz, Ozzie Smith. What a stop. Not only the stop, but then the return and the throw. Ozzie Smith gets the shortstop play of the month. The best catch of the month, there were a couple, but this is the one. This is the one from Corey Snyder, the Cleveland Indians out in right field. You don't get any better. They're better. The batter who wasn't better was Bo Jackson, strong ward. Go ahead and show me that strength. Bo. Yeah, I like the football players, man. I like anybody that's done with the Oakland Raiders, or the L.A. Raiders, too. The best disappearing act of the month, Lee Mazzilli of the New York Mets. Who would go up, who would go over, and who would say, goodbye, Lee. The best disappearing and reappearing act, however, would be turned in by Ken Caminiti of the Astros, who would go over and then come right back and say, I guess I went too far, didn't I? The most painful effort for a foul ball was turned in by a fan down in Atlanta. Check him out, the guy in blue, who misses. Boom! Down he goes. And he paid, what, $10 to get the seat to try for that thing? The all-out hustle for the foul ball. I like all of them. Every one of these kids gets together and says, I'll get it, you get it, I got it. Over the roll, boom, there goes the shin, there goes the knee, there goes the shoulder, there goes the arm, and none of them got it because Daddy reached over and took it home for himself. The best run by a kid over 35 years of age, Ken Griffey Sr., who at age 39 found out, man, that's a long way back to first base. The Worst Use of Your Face Award to Roberto Kelly off of Ken Griffey Jr., who took it right off of the face. Oh, does that hurt or does that hurt? Off of his face, it would go for an inside-the-park home run. Roberto, is your face together? Hey, and it happened one other time to him earlier in the week. Check out this one. Luis Polonia would tend to fly out there. Same thing off of Kelly's face again, twice in 1 week. Yo, Roberto! Hey, that's a tough way to change your appearance, Roberto. So it's time to take a little check here. Let's see, Roberto, what do you see? I see 3 baseballs, I see 4 cantaloupes, and 5 grapefruits. Now get out of my face. The 4th roughest homecoming of the month. Craig Biggio into Junior Ortiz, and he held on for the out. I'd have gotten out of the way myself. 3rd roughest homecoming, Jim Traber into Lance Parrish. Don't forget, Traber used to play football down in the state of Oklahoma. Glenn Wilson says, Alex Trevino, I've got your number. Here I come. And Trevino gets an air for the play. But the roughest homecoming, Oklahoma's Paul Oster into Oklahoma State's Paul O'Callahan. The umpire says, you're out. And I think you really are out, he says to the catcher. The runner, you're out. The catcher, you're out too. The worst collision, Joe Neuendijk of the Flames, who missed his man, end up in his own bench. Looked over and says, oh, boy, am I in trouble. Guys, how'd I get in here? What a Bolton development this is. The biggest party of the month, I guarantee, is still going strong up in Calgary, where the Flames won the Stanley Cup. Congratulations. The punch of the month, Michael Carbajal on Pedro Espinoza. Did he hit him with that left hook, or did he hit him? Oh, hey, Scott Morgan. Ooh, did he mistime that jump? Did he do something wrong? Well, Scott, I said, what do I have to do to get on the sports machine? I said, go jump a bull. He didn't make the bull, but he did make the sports machine. Congratulations, Scott Morgan. Want to take just a moment to welcome everyone stationed at
at all levels, how to effectively defend the men at 1st and 3rd double steal in our picks of the week. And how do you spell confused? Perhaps this isn't the place to ask that question. The Houston Astros are in the throes of a serious decision-making crisis here. Cause and effect. Here's the object of Houston's concern. Back to first, a total wash. But wasn't that fun? Andy Allenson strikes out. Ken Caminetti strikes out, keeping the Forestry Service in business. The skull is harder than wood, and tennis rackets. And under certain circumstances, horse hooves, although this one comes without a guarantee. And celebrations are changing as the youngsters take over the tennis courts. Where a jump used to suffice, lying in the dirt has become perfectly acceptable. And what it loses in dignity, it regains in appeal. Quite a week in tennis, wouldn't you say?
Plays that caught our eye over the past week. Here's Gino Reda with the plays of the week.
TSN's Plays of the Week begin with a kiss to Steve Lyons from an eager baseball fan. Tries to go up and over the wall. Security says, I've got a better idea. You're out of here. Some fans trying to cool off the old pop cans on the top of the head trick. Well, at least one Angel fan is not very amused with what's going on the field. Pretty hot down the field? You bet. Domingo Ramos gets a spray from the trainer. And how's this for cooling off in the middle of the game? Well, the sun's great if you want to catch some rays, but if you're on the field, especially in the outfield, the sun can cause some problems. Just ask QB Brooks. Or Ivan Calderon. I bet you Ivan Calderon would love to blame this one on the sun. But sorry, Ivan, there's no sun out there. Here's what you call team effort, folks. Go in, one's company, two's a crowd. Okay, Bip Roberts in left field. He goes after this line drive just inside the baseline. Bip Roberts has to go into the bullpen to get it. But there's balls everywhere. Does he get the right one? Now let's get to some great grabs. Watch Rick Leach playing out in left field for the Texas Rangers. Nice grab into the wall. Remember Mickey Hatcher? Old Mickey Hatcher? Well, watch the Jets on Hatcher as he goes after this one. Nice catch into the garbage bags and down. Cal Daniels, fresh off of the DL, But watch this grab. Through the pond, into the wall face first. Devon White on Tony Fernandez will go up and over the wall to keep this one in play. Nice grab. And here's a late flash of the big scoreboard. And TSN's Plays of the Week.
Do you know that woman?
We'll leave that one alone.
For color commentators make the big bucks? Well, Picks of the Week calls it insight.
It's raining, you guys.
Golf, as we know firsthand, is one of those activities adversely affected by wet weather. So it figures that the weather was great for the bungee cord diving in New Zealand, which requires little outside the need to be different. This was a bad week for a number of folks. Gumby in the booth, Pucko on the course, Sachs in the dugout, and Mindy on the field. Although you've really got to admire her style. Speaking of which, the White Sox are looking for pitching. Not much of a fastball here, but a great delivery. Certainly her would-be teammates have responded positively, and heck, I hope she makes it.
Kathy Ireland for you sports fans. That was a cover of Sports Illustrated, what, swimsuit issue?
Something like that. All right. When we come back, Gates shows us how to celebrate.
Yes, but before we go, we leave you with some plays that caught our eye over the last week. We present a special edition of the TSN Plays of the Week.
Time now for the special Batman edition of the Plays of the Week, featuring that dynamic duo with special guest Gumby. Whatever happened to his pony pal Pokey anyways? Start things off at the Western Open. A wholly close quarters Batman Paul Azinger has to go to his utility belt to find a wedge to poke this ball free, as the boys in Texas put on their special beach ball rally caps in support of Azinger's cause. Meanwhile, in San Francisco, the Giants show you how to make a put out the hard way. If you're scoring this game, you can call that 6-4-6. Still in California, another earthquake. Not caused by the San Andreas fault, no, but by Rick Russell stealing second. Watch tremors who were felt as far away as stately Wayne Manor, believe it or not. That play undoubtedly worth a bat bang. Which brings us to the case of the disappearing baseballs. Rick Cerrone is not known for his power, but he has been known to hit a few tricky ones. This one finds its way into a seam in the Sky Dome, leaves George Bell completely befuddled. But there was an even stranger disappearing act at the Cubs-Giants game. Mitch Webster's ball gets swallowed up by what? Maybe the Bermuda Triangle? Candy Maldonado discovers that it was nothing but a sick joke. Hold on to your seats, bat folk. Time for the big car chase scene. This ought to boost the ratings. Don't worry, nobody was seriously hurt. Time for our bat catches of the week. Barry Bonds with a diving effort complete with the smile. Not to be outdone, Randy Kutcher with an off-balance beauty. How about George Bell pulling this one within the Gotham City limits? Andy Van Slyke with the sensational sliding snag. And finally, the man with the two last names, yes, Brady Anderson with the off-the-wall body-thrashing thriller. Unbelievable. Believe it, kids, because these are the Batman version of the Plays of the Week.
Couple of program notes for you. Remember that
in the funniest moments in the last 7 days of sports, well, of course, the TSN Plays of the Week.
Okay, here we go with another edition of the Plays of the Week. We've got the weird and wacky, the crazy and the kooky. But let's get out of the gate with a little bit of baseball. The Indians seem to be in a sticky situation these days, but their problems aren't nearly as bad as Alvaro Espinoza of the Yankees. Lonnie Smith of the Braves with some hats-off base running. Just how badly are things going for Detroit? How about this for a pitch out? Montreal's Rex Hudler gives new meaning to the term going to the bullpen. And there's no love lost between the Mets and the Reds. Boys will be boys. And of course, what would a Cincinnati fight be without some gambling? Pete Rose says, hey, I'll put a couple $100 down on Dibble. Now for our complaint of the week. Yvonne Lendl on center court at Wimbledon.
Come on, guys, I'm having hard enough time on my own. Why do you make it more difficult for me? Oh, that's unbelievable.
And speaking of unbelievable, keep going, guys. Now for the International Plays of the Week, we go all the way to China. What do you think of that, Yvonne?
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Now for our home run of the week, Mike Greenwell of the Red Sox against the Yankees. Now that's what I call major league speed. And of course, there's only one way to sum up that play.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
The catch of the week, courtesy of Milwaukee's Glenn Braggs. Nice catch, Glenn, but let's see you do this. Over the course of the season, umpires eject a lot of players from ball games. But a pigeon? Don't look now, guys, but I think they're gaining on you. And finally, our grand finale, Boris Becker, this year's men's champion at Wimbledon. Now, you'd expect Boris to have a great set of hands, right? Wrong. So what do you think of this, Yvonne?
Oh, that's unbelievable.
And so are this week's edition of the TSN Plays of the Week.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Poor Yvonne. One day he's going to win Wimbledon. I hope.
Come together the best and the worst in the week of sport and bring you another edition of the TSN Plays of the Week.
Plays of the Week? I thought you said Hayes of the Week. And it was a rough week for Charlie Hayes of Philadelphia Phillies. He was a one-man wrecking crew to his own team. Kids, if you're watching, please do not, I repeat, do not try this in your own game. Let's see, that's 4 errors in just 4 innings in the same game. That means he gave up 11 bases and 3 runs. Sorry, Charlie. His wins have struggled since their World Championship in '87, so now they've opted for youth. And what a team they'll have in 2004. The Houston Astros were 2 games back at the All-Star break, but if you ask Billy Hatcher, he'll say the division title is in the bag. That's the new version of the hit and ball trick. Greg Rock proved to Ozzie Guillen that the old hit and ball trick still works, too. This week's had its share of fancy footwork on the base paths, as Alfredo Griffin demonstrates. They also had its share of different fans. Batman at one ballpark and his archenemy Watermelon Head at another. There was a Bob Uecker in the dugout and a Bob Uecker throwing some batting practice. And some new announcers up in the booth.
Oh, yes! Jesus! Oh, America! Oh, what a country, America! Oh.
That was marvelous, Billy. And speaking of marvelous, check out Marvell Wynn. You know, pitchers are experimenting with different types of pitches these days. There's the off-speed pitch demonstrated by Mike Maddox, and the off-the-cuff pitch demonstrated by Randy Nossick. Now, guys, if you want to learn to do it, you've got to keep an eye on the old wily veteran Sparky Lyle. Okay, now for something completely different. Remember last week when we showed you the running of the bulls? Well, this week, the people got their revenge.
By Gary Pettis on Saturday night, or that incredible chip by Mark Calcavecchi at the British Open? Well, if you didn't, here's your chance. And if you did, well, it deserves taking another look, don't you think?
Okay, hold on to your hats, boys. We've got the TSN Plays of the Week. But first, we've got Dwight Smith with the national anthem.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Not bad, Dwight, but maybe you should give up your day job. See what I mean? This week, the fans were swinging big bats at Shea Stadium in New York, and the golfers were swinging big sticks at the British Open in Troon. Jack Nicklaus for birdie. Nick Faldo for birdie. Fast dreams, eh? Tom Watson out of the trap. But the shot of the tournament goes to champion Mark Calcavecchia. You don't get much sweeter than that. From big plays on the links to big plays on the diamond. But first, round 2 of our slugfest. Gary Pettis of the Tigers is going to take away a sure home run. Up and over the wall brings it home, and that is definitely worth taking another look at. And how about Darrell Boston of the White Sox? Nice grab, and his fans really like that one. Pittsburgh's Andy Van Slyke, always sleight of hand. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for the rest of his teammates. Not a great night for the Pirates. And a great toss by Bobby Bonilla. Off the mound. Hey, guys, pay attention. Steve Jeltz of the Phillies will show you how it's done. And not to be outdone, Jose Akendo of the Cards. And finally, Houston's Billy Hatcher rounds out the TSN Plays of the Week.
Oh, Bobby Bonilla showing the form of a certain gold medal winning.
Well, it certainly wasn't last night. Up next, one of the keys to
time now, and the following shots could be classified under the heading of What's Wrong Here?
What's wrong here? Well, the veteran water skier will tell you in an instant. Those do not qualify as life jackets. Throw this guy a line. Bone Crusher Smith, a sucker for the phantom punch. But he's not especially choosy. He doesn't defend well against a hard left either. An innovation at Toronto's new Sky Dome, a ball-eating wall. Who needs Wrigley Field ivy? And in San Francisco, they're renting apartment space on the field at Candlestick. An idea whose time has come. There's still a few bugs to be worked out, but they think they've got the right guys working on the problem.
That is Sports Sunday. Donna.
Welcome back to the Sports Machine on this 4th of July holiday weekend. Here they are, folks. The wild, the bizarre, the wacky, the unusual. The plays of the month of June. Oh, we ask your blessings on these, our plays of the month of June. It was a hot month. Roger McDowell, give us a shower. Bleacher bum's got to be cool somehow. Thank you, Roger. We're sorry you got traded to the Phillies. Well, how about Coach Rich Renning? He wants to be a good guy. Gives a fan of baseball. Here, son, we'll try again. Hey, Rich, come on, give him a third try. Oh, man, I'm sorry about that. 3 tries and you're out. Rich trying to be the good guy. The coach says, sorry, that's it. I gave you 3 tries. I'm taking my baseball and going back to the bullpen. Now get out of here. Now, how about this? A little help from your friend award. A fan in Anaheim. Look at that glove he's got. You wonder why he can't pick up the baseball? That thing's from the 1922. Roger Hornsby used to use that glove. Vic, would you come over? Vic Faltaggio umpires his son. Let me give you a little help. And he got himself the souvenir he needed. Hallelujah. All right, let's go down to the best. The fans in Chicago with a little help from his beer-throwing friend. Nice guy out there at Comiskey. Nice guy, man. Let's play robbery this month. Trying to catch the baseball can be hazardous to your health. If you doubt it, check out Lenny Harris of the Reds. Going over. Lenny, there's a wall. Lenny, you didn't hear me when I told you there was a wall in the way. As far as robbery, it was a month of high wall robbery. Take, for example, Cecil Espy of the Rangers, who goes back to the wall. He leaps high above the wall to rob Randy Milligan. Hey, and Randy Milligan hit another one. This time it was George Bell, who would climb high above the wall to rob Randy Milligan. But the best catch of all, Tony Fernandez of the Toronto Blue Jays, a sure home run. Devon White goes back to the wall. Pat Riley, you watching his ability to leap? Man, Devon, you could have yourself as many rebounds in any game you ever wanted. The best over-the-wall catch with no reward. Glenn Davis of the Astros comes over to that new wire fence they've got in the Astrodome and goes down. But the worst over-the-wall catch was the one that wasn't made. Joe Orsolak, who goes over, didn't even get the baseball. Did you have a nice trip? I don't know, Tim Raines. Did you have a nice trip on... Hey, Tim, you're safe. You're safe at home again. Looks like some guy's coming home on Saturday night. Strongman Award, Andy Allenson of the Indians, who had to use the ground to break the bat. Then there was Ken Caminiti of the Astros. Boom, right over the knee. But the strongest man of all in baseball. Look to the Royals, Kansas City's Bo Jackson, who breaks it over his head. Bo, nobody breaks him like Bo. Unless you happen to be Scott Johnson, the pole vaulter from Chico, California, who snaps the pole in half and then hits the bar and down it comes. As far as our favorites for the mascots, it has to go to the Phoenix Suns gorilla. Ain't nobody doesn't like the gorilla. As far as our basketball shot of the month, Michael Air Jordan. Michael, we will miss you until basketball resumes. The flip of the month, Wild Ride. It's Scott Pierce and Mr. Pringles. It would happen on the rough waters in Detroit. We thought that would be the wildest, until right behind him would come Jim Kropfeld and Miss Budweiser. Up and over. And Jim saying, get me out of this boat. The golf shot of the month, Peter Jacobson. It's great to have you once again on the Sports Machine. Peter, when you get shots like this with nice reverse roll, man, there's a magnet. Peter, there was a magnet in that hole, and you know it. Wrestling's wildest move goes to Rick Steiner, who does a reverse body slam. You want to see it a second time? A reverse body slam on 2 of the Freebirds. He wouldn't go for a third one, would he? With a reverse body slam. He crushes beer cans with his head when he's not wrestling in the ring. We say the oldest tricks are still the best. Fernando Valenzuela, would he get Mike Morgan to go for it? You got something? Fernando, give me a smile. Thanks for being on the Sports Machine, Fernando. There they are, the plays of the month of June. I'm George Michael. Tony Segreto, it's been a pleasure having you with us.
From Entire. It was a scary moment for Rochester's Ken Kaiser umping at home. He was struck in the throat by a foul tip. He hung in there, though. Broke a tie with a 3-run 7th. Greg Jeffries with a bloop double that falls among many. Later in that same inning, off the villain, with commentary this week from Yvonne Lendl.
So, you want to be a catcher. Consider your future. Things that maybe Don Slott didn't give enough thought to before choosing a career. Because this happened not once, but twice in the same game. Just another night in the life of the human barricade.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Thankfully, baseball provides another outlet. Slott gets to bat, too. And sometimes makes contact. What have you got to hide? Well, baseball fans in Detroit don't need to explain. Those in Baltimore do. Perhaps a closet Phillies fan. Tim Mayotte had a difficult week. Nothing compared to his racket, though.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Thanks, Yvonne. Nice of you to drop in that sports.
Do you ever feel like doing that out on the court?
With a racket?
Sure.
Well, I
Not
don't
you,
know.
Billy.
Not me.
Okay, well, up next.
The run estimated he was going 370 miles an hour when his hydroplane flipped. Members of the safety crew said it appeared he was taken from the boat alive and had suffered 2 broken legs and a broken pelvis. He died later in hospital. In 1981, Arfans flipped over in a jet-powered dragster in Detroit. That crash took place at more than 300 miles an hour, and he broke his neck in that accident.
It looked like he was veering off course just a little bit, and when he tried to whip it back, that's when it happened. 4 turns, 4 somersaults, so the boat started going up in the air, and it went around and around and around. Next thing you know, you've seen rescue boats coming.
Honey, wake up. Mom's gone.
With some defensive gems. Before being traded to the Phillies, Len Dykstra makes this lunging aerial grab for the Mets. Ken Caminiti grounds to Luis Salazar, who starts what appears to be a routine 6-4-3 DP, but Jack Clark spots Kevin Bass motoring from third, a triple play. Ken Griffey Jr. of the Mariners, running deep to the warning track, makes a complete spin and fires a strike to third to nail Lou Whitaker. 2 Orioles dive for it, and Brady Anderson comes up with a nifty one-handed juggling catch. On to the painful play. Rafael Belliard makes the grab in traffic and picks up the spare. The squeeze play is on. Orlando Mercado gets jolted by Glenn Hubbard, but holds on for the out. Then Mercado throws to first for the double play. Pete Incaviglia smashes one off the chest of Jeff Ballard, but Ballard recovers, gets the out. Playing out of position, shortstop Craig Reynolds in left makes the nice grab and throws on the run to get Chris Gwynn at the plate. Time now for some outstanding outs. For the first down, let's go in to the Astrodome. Jose Rijo makes a no-look behind the back grab. Jeff Hamilton foils a Dan Schatzeder pitch, but Glenn Davis goes fencing for it. Twins pitcher Roy Smith with the kick save and a beauty. And he gets the out. George Bell leaps high to rob a home run from Randy Milligan. You know he can hit home runs, but here Mickey Tettleton wins an award for his defensive skill. And finally, quickly, but let's give him a hand award to San Francisco sensation Kevin Mitchell for a catch which may set the art of glove making back a few years.
In my entire life, I've never seen that happen. You gotta be kidding me. Gotta be the play of the year.
Yes, strong stuff, perform heroic deeds. In the widely practiced sport of being a baseball fan, it is a rare achievement to catch the big one, a foul ball. If the big one gets away, it's even less likely you'll get another bite.
Down the left field line, and it's caught by a fan. Foul ball, but it's the same guy, isn't it?
Yeah, he finally got one. He missed that other one, but he got the ball this time.
Some fans go to great lengths to get a foul ball, and with the prize at hand, a victory dance often follows. But if the judge doesn't like your dance, you lose the ball. The quest for a foul ball may turn good friends into savages. But two strangers can settle ownership disputes both gentlemanly and quarterly.
Oh, he flipped a coin. How about that?
Yeah.
And the guy won, and he gave up the ball.
That's a classic. What a deal.
Thank you very much.
There are times when you need a little help from your friends, but even the best of friends can sometimes come up a little short. Cub fans have their own sport. It's called throw the opposition's home run ball back on the field. Well done, son. This is not to say that Cub fans don't have the necessary skills to catch these balls. Witness this catch by a fan. He plays the ricochet off the wall, avoids the tree. Yes! But if it's not hit by one of their Cubbies, the Wrigley faithful have a way of relaying a certain message. Thanks, but no thanks. Now you know the best bumps and bruises. Roberto Alomar fouls a pitch off his face. Ouch. Dick Schofield's throw to first nails Omar Vizquel on the helmet. Corey Snyder wishes he had eyes and a mitt in the back of his head. We move to the I'd Rather Be on Special Teams Award to none other than Bo Jackson, who shows that even Superman has rough days at the office. I don't think Superman played on wet grass, though. Go ahead, Bo, just do it. Next up, the Not My Best Stuff Award, reserved for the brave men of the mound. To Brian Holman of the Mariners for his pitch to the East Bronx. Check out the unique delivery of Mike Maddox trying to avoid a balk. Home plate umpire John Shulock has already been hit twice this game, and he gets hit again by Gary Milkey. That's what happens when you get in Milkey's way. So how do umpires defend themselves? They strike back. That's how. This one coming from veteran Doug Harvey. Is there a doctor in the house? Now for the Off the Beaten Base Path Award to Dodger Willie Randolph, who considers a shortcut to the dugout and then thinks better of it. And Tim Raines, who on this round trip just reaches his destination. The most embarrassing play is one of our more popular awards. To Chris Sabo, who flies out and who flies down. Frank White, in a relaxing moment, uses Rich Gedman as a sofa. Steve Sachs tags second base ump Rick Reed, then throws to first to double up the first base coach. And now the award for best effort. One winner is Astro Ken Caminiti, who goes to great lengths to miss this foul ball. But Lee Mazzilli shows he's the cream of the crop. Vanishing cream, that is. We move from the bloopers to the weird and wacky plays of 1989. First, the weirdest pregame ceremonies. In Atlanta, they send out the clowns. Only problem, they couldn't find how to send them back in. How do you follow an act like the Clydesdales? With big shovels, of course. But you saw that coming. Old-timers games make for the best pregame. Here, Dick Dietz shows that collisions just ain't what they used to be. For the first time, the Like Father, Like Son award to the Griffies for the similar way they play the game. Here, Ken Sr. demonstrates the fine art of reaching first base. And Ken Jr. shows that the nut doesn't fall far from the tree. We move to the Keep Your Eye on the Ball award. Watch carefully as the bat, the runner, and the ball arrive at third base at the same time. Billy Hatcher wins for accuracy as his ball lands in the bag. Pip Roberts must make a very difficult choice. But then Pip is used to playing the bench. Mitch Webster of the Cubs rips a fair ball into the right field corner, but it takes a detour into the Giants bullpen. One of the reasons the Giants are so solid this year, they have the good lefty closer. Now an award that defies Mother Nature, the Lightning Strikes Twice Award. Yankees in Oakland, fly ball to left center field. Roberto Kelly dives for the ball, but it hits him in the head and rolls into the corner. Only a good relay and a bad slide prevent an inside-the-park home run. 4 days later, Yanks in Seattle. Another fly ball to left center. Kelly dives, hits him in the head again, and rolls away. But no good relay, no bad slide, and inside-the-park home run. Roberto, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature. We move ahead to the Lest We Forget Award for the forgettable plays of the year. The first recipient, Claudell Washington of the Angels. Now Claudell makes the easy catch and right, then fires a strike to the plate. Only problem, there were 3 outs. And who said umpires never forget?
Bob Engel thinks it's strike 3. Robert, you're thinking about that favorite restaurant. The count is 3-2. Bob Engel embarrassed this time.
Here's another forgettable situation. Game tied with 2 out of the bottom of the ninth. Ernest Bliles breaks for second, tries to score from first when the throw gets away. Did anybody notice the batter struck out to end the inning? So Dykstra's perfect throw is the 4th out of the inning. Coming up next, a special award to a player who's had a hand or two in the success of the Albert Achievement Award. And how about a hand for all of this year's winners? We'll be back with more after this. Of division leaders, explosives last night between the Blue Jays and A's. After George Bell was hit by a pitch, he got into a shouting match with several Oakland players, leading to a heated exchange between Bell and Dave Parker. Toronto beat Oakland 4-1. Mike Bob. You seem to think you can do it all with the recent release of a commercial that has caused quite a stir.
Bo knows baseball. Bo knows football. Bo knows basketball, too. Bo knows tennis? No.
Bo, you don't know diddly.
The Mets broadcast booth as they ran into a foul ball scare.
Oh, yes! Jesus! Oh, America! Oh, what a country, America! Oh. Are you all right, Billy?
Yeah, I'll be all right in a minute. Whoa, there it is.
Yes, you get a good appreciation how fast that ball comes back.
Huh? You still don't move to your right well.
Another first baseman, Greg Brock, with a fake return. Ozzie Guillen fell for it. He is out. Some more Rangers infield have themselves an adventure. Phillies pitching coach Darrell Knowles with a graceful visit to the mound. Here's a fly ball to right. Claudell Washington with the catch. Perfect throw to the plate. One problem, the catch was the 3rd out. Paul O'Neill of the Reds is so thoroughly frustrated, he kicks the ball back to the infield for what turns out to be the perfect cutoff, holding the runner at 3rd. And we close with this base hit by
Milton first from the Old Testament.
Remember the story of Daniel in the Lion's Den? Of course you do. Updated now, we have Max Venable helping umpire Kenny Kaiser with a speck in his eye. So when Kenny has a chance to return the favor, something gets lost in the translation. Soccer as a spectator sport lives incognito. You catch him every once in a while, and it's still a useful skill. A pitch even Sparky Lyle didn't dare use when he was pitching in pinstripes for real, neither to home nor to first. And speaking of nostalgia, noogies are back. Rugby isn't the sport for weak of heart or the soft of head.
Oh, yeah, lovely. Thank you very much.
And a Boston Red Sox all-star double, Wade Boggs and Mike Greenwell.
Oh, yeah, lovely. Thank you very much.
That is Sports Sunday.
You promised they were good ones. They were. They always are.
Conversation is held at a distance of about 3 feet. A comfort zone, except in baseball and in our picks of the week.
I mean, would you discuss family matters or dinner plans at such close range? Fact is, little communication occurs since both parties are simultaneously yelling, which is inherently absurd, since Cindy Rarick displays the same state of mind without so much as a word. This was some week for outfield play. A gem from Kirby Puckett. A pearl from Gary Pettis. And another from George Bell. How'd that get in there? Finally, a primer in dealing with the obtrusive camera.
TV stuff, yeah. You can't have fun, no play, right?
Precisely.
Picks of the week credo right there. That is Sports Sunday.
I got to straighten up.
Wooden bat is a hot topic. What is not being discussed these days is the plight of the glove. Until now, in our picks of the week.
A flashback. And Kevin Mitchell didn't have to hit all those home runs to be remembered because he did this. Now we've got Sean Dunston making the play barehanded. Who needs a glove? Who needs leather? Fans across the nation have been making plays without a glove in the stands for as far back as anyone can remember. Of course, things are a lot less serious in the stands than on the field, aren't they? And the fact is, gloves are still necessary, as long as the people wearing them know how to use them.
Rick Dempsey with an absolute clean miss of that ball to the umpire's
demise. All right, Bill.
Pull you off a little bit, maybe make the crops grow. Look at Milton Jones of Saskatchewan. Heck, this guy has got built-in all-weather radio. Look at him go down the sideline. Hey, slides, he's safe. Tackled at the 32. It sets up a 41-yard field goal by Dave Ridgway against the wind. It's good, 3-1 Saskatchewan, but Hamilton comes back.
Following you around with a camera all week, recording all your mistakes. Could you imagine what that'd be like? Well, unfortunately for pro athletes, cameras do follow them around. Then we bring them all together and call it the TSN Plays of the Week.
Okay, baby, it's time once again for the Plays of the Week. And you know those dog days of August will soon be upon us, but let's not dwell on that. Let's get on with the Plays of the Week, because soon August is gone, fall is here, demonstrating some classic falls, Mike McFarland of the Royals. Athletic shortstop Mike Gallego. Rangers pitcher Kevin Brown. And how about Calgary Stampeders receiver Brock Smith? Check out that rabbit. He's really making that old tortoise he does. Okay, now back to baseball, and this ball is going. It's gone. It's a home run. It's kind of gone. Nope, there it is. Well, Doug Strange found the ball. He just couldn't find the handle. Roger Clemens and Jody Reed saw the ball, but they didn't see each other. Here, everybody knew where the ball was, but nobody really wanted it. And finally, Yvonne Calderon saw the ball, but he didn't see the runner. And he takes it on the chin, and so does this guy. Something about not liking his dress, I don't know. How's that wascally wabbit doing? It doesn't look as though anything's going to slow him down. You know, it was a tough week for umpires. They were dropping like flies. This pitch was a foul. The new stop on the PGA Tour is in the Sahara. This course features llama caddies. Rumor has it the bunkers are brutal. Finally, we check in with our friend the Rabbit. He's finished the race, and dare we say he wins it by a hair?
Dangerous place for that Rabbit to go for.
Something they're not. This is not a serious offense, but one we felt should be dealt with in our Picks of the Week.
Pigs aren't pretty, aren't supposed to be. So what's this porker trying to prove? Mules certainly have practical value, but one gets the idea that somewhere along the way, it took more than a little prodding to get them to jump. Then there's Mark Finan, the would-be great golfer.
Winning 3 Masters championships at PGA, the British Open 4 times. I think that's fairly spectacular since I am only 22 years old. I think it's okay.
The would-be movie star. The would-be sportscaster.
My golf game goes and comes. It's kind of like the sun. It rises and shines, and I never know when it's going to shine.
And short game?
I can see you're really into this conversation, aren't you? Huh? Do you have, do you ask the pros the same questions all in all? I mean, same, how's your game and how's the course? Do you ask them?
No, I usually ask them how they like the weather here in Rochester.
That's beautiful, isn't it? Huh? Look at this. This is Chamber of Commerce weather. Take a shot of this right here. You're not the weather. You got the only business, huh? Mark, folks, Mark has the only business where you never have to be right, and you still get paid.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah. Is that right or wrong, folks? Is that right? That's true.
Just our way of saying that we've enjoyed working with Mark Finan, who's leaving the weekends for TV 10 today, pre-dawn. We're going to miss you, Marky.
Monday through Friday with Maggie Brooks, starting a week from tomorrow, right?
You guys are the greatest. Yeah, week from tomorrow. I miss you guys, too.
All right. Well, you'll still be around News Team 10, though.
Sure, of course.
Okay. Thanks, Bill.
Program with the best moments of the last 7 days or so, a few chuckles, a couple of oops, and some brilliant athletic plays, all under the general heading of the Plays of the Week.
Welcome to Tokyo in football American style. The Niners put on a show running the football effectively. At least they did for a while, and then the adventure begins. Follow the bouncing ball. It's Niners ball. No, it isn't. It's Rams ball. And when it's all over, the 49ers have the football. They also have a touchdown. Still with football, the Brits' inclination to fight in the sands at a soccer match seems to have infected the Eagles and the Browns. This is pre-game in pre-season, folks, so there isn't a lot at stake, right? Just to show how smart these guys are, they go at it once again. Not a good week for cameramen. Steve Young takes this one out of bounds into a couple of photographers. Steve, they'd have taken your picture. All you had to do was ask. Not to be outdone, this running back has run out of bounds. Boom, another cameraman goes down. Now that's a close-up. And now our tribute to the Rally Cap. First, the very personable Chicago Cubs, or how about the Montreal Expos? Obviously earlier in the week when they were in a jovial mood. The best of the ball, Andy Van Slyke. Make it fit, Andy, make it fit. Which gets us into our catches of the week. First is Jesse Barfield in Toronto. Running, sliding. Nice catch, Jesse. Or this group effort by the Expos. 3 of them converged. Damaso Garcia thought he had it. Hubie Brooks knows he has it. Or how about this one? Look at this grab by Mike Devereaux. Off the wall. Jump, Mike. Jump, Mike. Harold Baines thought he had a home run. Nope, not this time. You saw him going back for a ball. He's pretty good and fast forward, too. Devereaux makes a diving catch in the same ball game in Baltimore. But the man who impressed us most this week was the Yankees' Mel Hall. He may not have caught this one, but at least he got to know a few of the fans in New York a little better. Now, these guys might not have been as kind to Hall. And here's a frequent contributor to Plays of the Week, usually as a punt returner, this time as a pass receiver. Henry the Gizmo Williams, up and over, one clip for the end zone for the touchdown. Here comes one more for the record. The Gizmo and others. Take a bow, boys. You're all part of Plays of the Week.
And you'll be head over heels if you're a Toronto Blue Jays fan because the...
Last Sunday, July 30th, Lane Frost, a world champion bull rider, would have one of the greatest rides of the year. He would score 85 points, win almost $10,000 at Cheyenne Frontier Days. This would be one of his best rides. But at the conclusion of the ride, the bull would ram his horn through the ribs of Frost. The broken ribs would sever a blood vessel. Lane Frost died on the arena floor.
And that's the Hebsey Awards. Now, the Blue Jays won 7-0 tonight.
Especially when you're talking golf. A lesson for announcer Gary McCord in our Picks of the Week.
And believe me,
I never saw him miss a putt. This will go in.
Oh.
Like I said, he'll just miss it on the right.
The game itself takes work, too. Getting an early start helps. The same is true in baseball. And this kid has the look of a big leaguer already. Now if he can hit. Managing requires more refined talents. Bobby Valentine, and perhaps a feel for the supernatural. Tom Kelly. But the sport with the inspiration market cornered appears to be billiards. No hustle here, though. These girls are good.
I mean, was there ever any doubt that ball was going in? That is poor.
No. That little kid had a great golf swing.
He's got 3 of us beat up here.
Absolutely, without a doubt. All right, Bill.
Thousands of tapes a week will leave no stone unturned, no satellite and coordinates untouched. Everyone has a shot at making TSN's Plays of the Week. Wake up, everybody. It's time for the Plays of the Week baseball style. Watch this. Stan Javier with a shot down the right field line. Look at the ball boy. What was he thinking? It's a fair ball, so he tries to drop it just kind of nonchalantly. Yeah, nobody saw me, only 20,000 people, right? He should get choked. Yeah, I think so. Meanwhile, the guys in the Blue Jay dugout are trying to figure out what to do with their rally towels. But look at this play. Steve jumps behind the back in time at second. Nelson Liriano says, I can do one better than that. He picks one off the carpet. He's in time at first, too. And check out this bit of fielding by the Mariners. Harold Reynolds to Omar Vizquel. Nice-looking play. And it was so nice, Reynolds decided, hey, I'll do it twice. Over in Baltimore, there's a cat on the loose, but the U.S. Navy are in attendance to save the Baltimore bird. You've heard of Judgment Day? Well, make that Misjudgment Day. Look at Mark Carrion. He needs an appointment at the eye doctor's, and Kirby Puckett better get in line, too, and Darrell Boston, yeah, you're third in line. Bo Jackson needs a little firewood for the collection, so he breaks his bat over his knee, and the boys in the dugout are still trying to figure out what to do with those rally towels. Maybe those towels helped Jose Oquendo make this play. Nice diving stop at second. Chet Lemon wanted to make TSN's Plays of the Week, and so did Claudel Washington. They both wrote in. Gerald Young tasted the wall in center field. He sent that clip to us, and Mel Hall sent us this one. Stanley Jefferson got his best out, and the guys in the dugout say 1, 2, 3, just in time for the Plays of the Week. Too bad, you know.
It's rock climbing. I mean, it looks easy, doesn't it? Just right up the bump. Well, Sierra Michaud did it perfectly. Check out Renato Gilberto. Look out for the bike, Renato. If you thought that was bad, look at Andy Sotcliffe letting the bike get away from him. Now watch Matthias Nukirchen. I mean, the moral of this story, take the bus. Okay. Ski flying, you've heard about it. They go twice the distance than 90 meters. Andreas Felder of Austria is absolutely magnificent. Watch him in the air. He's so graceful, riding it out. 191 meters, 7-second hang time. Okay, now for 3 of TSN's Men of the Week. Number 1, Ulf Findesen, who turns it into a freestyle event. A nice daffy, then a flip, and a couple of flips on the way down. Beautiful work for Ulf Findesen. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, Masahiro Akimoto, who says, I can beat him easily. Now watch him. A quick daffy, then a quick flip. Beautifully done. Now let him roll it down. He really stuck that one, didn't it? Even got rid of the skis. Who needs them? Neither one of those guys seriously hurt. But Rolf Berg says, I can beat all of these guys. Check out Rolf. I mean, he's so confident. Rolling down the ramp. Now watch him. Head over heels. Beautifully done. Rolf stuck it beautifully. He scored a 10 to win it. 3 of TSN's Men of the Week.
Hear the intro. Baseball moments. How about the moving wave attempted by several ambitious fans? Did not work. Now the stray cat that a groundskeeper attempted to guide aside, the cat not anxious to leave takes biting exception. Now basketball had its hot shot this past month. This is the USBL, Dave. Joe Dawson of Connecticut with a fling. And how about a move right here? You'll see from backcourt Jim Abramitis at the buzzer for a game winner. All right, umpires in the spotlight. Durwood Merrill has gone Hollywood and eventually gives it the safe side. Chicago manager Jim Fry, making his own call, throws out the ump. And a friendly umpire looks to toss the ball to a fan. Nice shot right in the cup of beer. 7'2" Thomas Paine and 5'11" Randy Davis. Davis puts Paine down.
The shot of the week, Mike Donald, and listen for the noise. On one hop and...
Wooden bat. It is time to show a little respect in our picks of the week. Randy Myers struck out. Big deal. He's supposed to. Why blame the bat? Except for a laugh. Bo knows more about how to use it, less about how to take care of it. And if plastic ever runs short, we'll know who or what to blame. We'll never have too few cigarette butts, so keep them off the course. Because golf has become the sport of the masses. We knew that before most. And don't sweat a bad shot. You want to do it right? Become a pro.
We've got the walrus on this. Oh, oh. That was a swing, and he said, okay.
Guy slamming the dirt there was not Rick Hager. It's just an ugly rumor. That is sports.
That's how I golf.
What's down?
Have some of the funniest. We bring them all together, and we call them the TSN Plays of the Week. And where do we find all these plays?
All week at TSN, we fly our Plays of the Week satellite through the skies. The first highlights our dishes pulled in were from Houston at the Astrodome, where Don Zimmer, Cubs manager, blowing off a little steam with the ump. And that blew about a 200 on the Zimmometer. Still, it's a lot better than Milwaukee's new manager, Deadhead. On Wednesday, our satellite picked up some unusual behavior because of the lunar eclipse. The moon affected the minds of adults, it altered the face of children, and it changed Randy Johnson's taste in eyewear. It even affected the eyesight of some announcers.
Lou Whitaker nails it. Deep right field. Way back. Forget this one. Upper tank, almost. Whoa, it died. I thought that was out of here.
Roy Smith trying to figure out just how the lunar eclipse occurs. Well, as sports fans know, it happens when Yankees broadcaster Phil Rizzuto passes between the moon and the sun. Holy cow, it's unbelievable. Our immense stable of satellite dishes pulled in unusual behavior in Chicago, where Spider-Man stopped in to broadcast a few innings. But the Philly Fanatic shows the hot trend as he protects Gotham City from batting helmets. Why are Milwaukee fans not impressed with Batman? Because they've got Robin. But Robin is foiled by Ellis Burke's holy sliding grabs, Batman. A couple other great grabs, Andre Dawson at the wall. Lance Johnson with his Andre Dawson impression. Catch is no picnic, trust me, folks. Billy Hatcher, another wallflower. And Joe Carter with a great diving catch. Only to be outdone by the White Sox Lance Johnson one more time. But the best catch of the week, Jack Morris. Who needs a glove, baby? He's so cool he skates to school. Our satellites scan the atmosphere to find funny fan behavior. Fans trying for balls. They'll do just about anything. They'll even take the falls, desperately trying for a souvenir, even if they have to sacrifice their rain gear. It's all too much for some people to watch. Tune in next week when we search